Hello everyone, welcome back to another lecture on readings in literature. Today we are moving on to the next chapter titled Nightmare, written by Malcolm X. I hope you have read that extract from one of the autobiographies. So, what do you understand from it? The name of the author, Malcolm X, otherwise Malcolm Little. I already told you it is an extract or it is the first chapter from an autobiography titled The Autobiography of Malcolm X. What is autobiography? Autobiography is an account of person's life written by that person itself. So here we are going to see the first chapter of the autobiography of Malcolm X. Who is Malcolm X? You will get a brief idea about Malcolm X in the page number 102. Malcolm X, he was one of the strong advocate of black community. He was born in Omaha. Where is this Omaha? Omaha is one of the cities in United States, one of the top places to live in America. And he was a black man. You might have heard about racism which existed in United States before. There was a clash between white and black people. Americans, the original inhabitants, the Americans, they were white in color. But later, a few Africans were brought into this land as slaves. Thus, the black community emerged and widespread in the United States. But the white men, they weren't ready to accept black people as their equal. They considered them as mere slaves. Once slavery was legal in United States. So, in the name of racism or in the name of their body color, the Africans the Africans in America had to face lot of trials and tribulations in their life. So Malcolm, he was one of the victims of racism existed in United States. In his childhood, he had to face poverty and displacement. You know what is poverty? What about this displacement? You had studied the difference between distance and displacement in your uh, higher secondary classes. Those who have studied um, science for their mains, I hope you remember that. Displacement. So here the displacement means Malcolm X had to shift from one place to another because of lot of reasons. Then he couldn't continue his studies because he had to face abusive treatment from the schools. Later, in order to regenerate the spirits of black community, he himself devoted his life. So here we are going to see who is Malcolm X. What really happened in his life? The autobiography is incomplete. Here we have to study only one chapter, the first chapter. So here we are going to see how pathetic his childhood was, what happened to his family. A brief idea about Malcolm X will be revealed from this chapter. So let's move on to the PDF for this chapter titled Nightmare. So, what is the meaning of nightmare? An unpleasant dream, a shocking dream, a dream which makes us frightened. That is the meaning of nightmare. So, what was the nightmare Malcolm X had? Let's see that. Let me move on to that PDF. 1 second. Okay. So this is the this is the PDF of your textbook Nightmare. When my mother was pregnant with me, she told me later a party of old Ku Klux Klan riders galloped up to our home in Omaha, Nebraska one night. The first chapter begins with an incident which occurred prior to his birth. He was in his mother's womb. So one day, what happened one day night? A group of people, the the people of Ku Klux Klan. Ku Klux Klan, it is an organization or it is a group who were intended to destruct the black community in America. So there was a clash. There exists a clash between white and black people. So the Ku Klux Klan, that is an American hate group. They were totally against blacks. They wanted to destruct them. So one day, a group of people came to Malcolm X's home and they surrounded their house and they started to use abusive language and they started to threaten the family. And the mother of Malcolm X, she came out and she opened the door and immediately those people asked, "Where is your husband? Ask him to come out." The mother, she said that he's not here. And she was a full pregnant lady. So immediately those people, those gang would understood, yes, she is a pregnant lady. And moreover, she herself said that my husband is not here. She was all alone. See, and I have all alone here, and my husband is not here, and me and my three children are here. And he is preaching in Milwaukee. Okay, my husband is not here. He is preaching somewhere else. What is preaching? Preaching means delivering some speeches regarding something. So listening this response of Malcolm's ex-mother, those people, they shouted, they said that, they threatened her and they warned her that it is better to get out of town. Okay, it is better. You and your family, it's better for you to get out of this town because your husband is spreading troubles among the good Negroes. So the white people segregated the black Negroes into good Negroes and bad Negroes. Who is this good Negroes? The good Negroes are those who are obedient to white people. The black people who are raising their voice, who are fighting for justice to the white people is considered as bad Negroes. So it is evident from this incident. Malcolm X's family, especially Malcolm's father, he is a bad Negro who is spreading trouble in their opinion, in Klan's opinions. His father is spreading trouble. And what was that trouble? They are saying that with the Back to Africa preaching of Marcus Garvey. So he is preaching the ideal back to Africa. I told you once slavery was legal in America, later it was abandoned. After some time, around 19th century, a few Africans are free from slavery, and those Africans they wanted to go back to their homeland, that is Africa. Okay, they were born and brought up in these black people. They were born and brought up in America. They were slaves for a long time, and after some time they were enslaved. So immediately those Negroes they wanted to go back to Africa, and this idea was supported by Marcus Garvey. Marcus Garvey was a political activist who is one of the spokesperson of Back to Africa movement. So Back to Africa it is a movement. What is that movement? A movement in which a few Africans who were enslaved, uh, they were they were they were free. They wanted to go back to Africa. Okay, so this group of people they said that. Your husband he is spreading some wrong message among those good Negroes. Okay, he is trying to convert them. He is trying to influence them. We know that he is one of the persons of Marcus Garvey. So be aware. They have threatened and they went back. In the second paragraph, Malcolm is introducing his father. His father's name is Reverend Earl Little, a Baptist minister and a dedicated organizer for Marcus Aurelius Garvey's UNIA. I already told you, Marcus Garvey, he is one of the political activists who is supporting this Back to Africa movement and all, who is fighting against white people for the upliftment of the black people in America, and he is the founder of UNIA. UNIA means Universal Negro Improvement Association. It is an association to ensure the safety of black people in America. So, with the help of such disciplines as my father, Garvey from his headquarters in New York City's Harlem was raising the banner of black race purity and exhorting the Negro masses to return to their ancestral African homeland, a cause which had made Garvey the most controversial black man on earth. So, Marcus Garvey, he also believed that in order to preserve the purity of black people, they should go back to their homeland. They should go back to their ancestral homeland. He is not in Omaha. He is in New York City. From there, he is leading his preachers across the United States. Okay, so the headquarters we can consider the head. No, not considered. The headquarters of this association is in New York, and Marcus Garvey is in New York, and he has lot of preachers or organizers across the United States, and my father is also one among them. Marcus Garvey is famous for this controversial movement. This is what he is. So, in the second paragraph, we came to know about Malcolm X's father as well as Marcus Garvey. So, still, those people they have surrounded their home by shouting at that pregnant woman. Who is that pregnant woman? It is Malcolm X's mother. So they were in their house, and not only shouting at his mother, they have also shattered the every window pane with their gun butts. And after that, they went back. See the next paragraph. My father was enraged when he returned. So at that time, Malcolm X's father was not there, and he came back after that after some time. And when he came back, he saw the pathetic situation of his home, and he became furious. But see, how did he respond? He decided to wait until I was born, which would be soon, and then the family would move. So he didn't want to indulge in a direct fight uh, with that man, with that people. He said that, or he asked his wife, "Please bear for some more time. Now you are fully pregnant. You are in your 8 months or 9 months, and your delivery will be soon. We will so and then let's move from here. We don't want to stay back here for a long time. After that, let's move to some other places." So why did he make such a decision? Why he kept quiet? Even though he was furious, why he didn't fight back? Because is it because he was frightened? No, he was not frightened. As Gandhi believed in justice and non-violence. He also Malcolm X's father. He also believed that okay, this is not a way back to fight against those white people. And here we can see the physical appearance of Malcolm X's father. My father was a big 6'4", very black man. He had only one eye. And even Malcolm X didn't know how he had lost that eye. And he is originally from Georgia, and he had schooling there. And after third or fourth grade, he left the school, so he didn't have much education. But now Malcolm's father believed that Marcus Garvey will deliver freedom, independence, and self respect would never be achieved by Negro in America. So, until then, the Negroes were suffering in America. So, Malcolm X's father believed that Marcus Garvey can make a change, he can ensure freedom and independence and even self respect to the Negroes. Therefore, the Negro should leave the America to the white man and return to his Africa land of origin. So, the white people are earning too much. They are enjoying freedom. They are enjoying all the pleasures in the world. How they can enjoy such freedom? Because they don't want to work. The Africans are there for them to work. So, Marcus Garvey he said that the Negroes are their real strength. So once we go back, they will suffer. So this is how we want to respond. If we go back to our native place, if Africans go back to their own native place, they can enjoy their life. They can live a life out of fear. This is what Marcus Garvey propagated among the Negroes. Among the reasons my father had decided to risk and dedicate his life to help disseminate this philosophy among his people was that he had four of six brothers die by violence, three of them killed by white men, including one by lynching. What my father could not know then was that of the remaining three. Okay, so my father he has decided, yes, I have a family, but for the sake of my family, I'm not ready to shut myself at home. I will help Marcus Garvey. I will become one of the preachers of Marcus Garvey and will propagate this ideology among the Negroes. His father had six brothers. Three of them died in a violence for the same cause, and one or two people were living somewhere, and he had no idea at all. He doesn't bother about his family. So this attitude is revealed from this paragraph. It has always been my belief that I too will die by violence. I have done all that I can to be prepared. So now Malcolm X is a grown-up man, and he is writing this autobiography. And till this paragraph, he was narrating his past experience. But this two sentence, it is in the present. This is the present means not now. The time in which Malcolm X is writing this diary or this autobiography. He said that uh, even I too believe that my father, who was ready to sacrifice his life in a violence. So similarly, I'm also prepared for that. Even I'm also living for the same cause. Malcolm X is the seventh child of his father. Malcolm X's mother was the second wife of his father. Earlier, he had married and he had three children, and they were living in Boston. And after that, he met Malcolm X's mother in Philadelphia, and they had their first child. And after having their first child, they moved from Philadelphia to Omaha, where Hilda and Filbert were born. Okay, so he has number of children. And in 1925, May 19, Malcolm X was born as the seventh child of his father. He born in an hospital. After the birth of Malcolm X, they moved to Milwaukee. So earlier we have seen that after seeing all the chaos happen at home, how did he respond? How did Malcolm X's father respond? He said that don't worry. Anyway, soon we are moving from this place. So where did they go? They moved to Milwaukee. And after reached Milwaukee, one more child was born whose name was Reginald, who is younger to Malcolm X. So from infancy, he had some kind of hernia condition which was in handicap him physically for the rest of his life. But unfortunately, since Reginald born, he had some issues, hernia issues, and he became a handicapped person. Next paragraph talks about Malcolm X's mother, whose name is Lois Little, who was born in British West Indies, and she looked like a white woman. Looked like a white woman? How a Negro could look like a white woman? Malcolm X's father, he was a black man, but his mother looked like a white woman because Malcolm X's maternal grandfather was white. That is, Louis Little's father was a white man. So that is why she had straight black hair, and her accent did not sound like a Negro's. The accent, the way of pronunciation, is not same for all the people. It has some difference. So when Malcolm X's mother is compared with another Negro woman, where we can see a lot of differences. In her appearance, she is different. See, usually the Negroes have curly hairs, black curly hair. But here, Malcolm X's mother had a straight black hair, and her accent is also different. I remember hearing her say that she was glad that she had never seen him. So Louise Little, Malcolm's mother, she didn't see his father at all. So, Louise Little has some physical qualities of a white woman. Malcolm X also inherited the same. Here it is written like this: the color of his skin is somewhat different. It was, of course, because of him that I got my reddish brown marine color of skin and my hair of the same color. He was not a black man. His body color is not black exactly as his father. So it was a mixed complexion. Okay. And even though I have some physical appearance of a white man, in my heart, I am a true black Negro. Okay, he hated that white rapist blood in his body because his maternal grandfather was a white man. He didn't like that ancestry, but he was helpless. Our family stayed only briefly in Milwaukee, for my father wanted to find a place where he could raise our own food and perhaps build a business. So later, Malcolm X's family moved from Milwaukee. His father wished to raise his own food and build a business of his own. Usually, the Negroes they worked hard for the white people, and the white people provided them with food, and they were not allowed to set up their own business. Malcolm's father he wanted to make a change. He said that I want to earn for myself, for my family. If I could possible, I have to build a business. The teaching of Marcus Garvey stressed becoming independent of the white man. So why he thought like that? Because Marcus Garvey he always persuaded the black Negroes to become independent. Be independent of the white man. Do not depend white man forever. And later, they went to Lansing, Michigan, and there he bought a house of his own and he was doing freelance Christian preaching. So his religion is Christianity. Malcolm X's family's religion is Christianity. So in daytime, Malcolm X's father conducted some Christian preaching, and in the weekend he used to spread the words of Marcus Garvey. So I already told you there was two section among the Negroes, good Negroes and bad Negroes. It is according to Ku Klux Klan Army. Um, but there also some people they were persuaded by Marcus Garvey's preaching. They said that they considered that yes, what they are saying is true. We have to free ourselves from the clutches of the white people. But at the same time, some other Negroes, they do not want to go back to their homeland. They wanted to stay back in America itself, and they are ready to in order to, or slave themselves for the white people. So one day he was making this preaching, the words of or spreading the words of Marcus Garvey. One of the local resident whose name is given here, Uncle Tom, he is a Negro. So Tom is a Negro man. He began to funnel stories about his revolutionary beliefs to the local white people. This time, the get out of town threats came from the local hit society called Black Legion. Okay, so ഒറ്റ കൊടുക്കുക എന്നൊക്കെ പറയുന്നത്. അപ്പൊ അതുപോലെ ഇയാളെയും മാൽക്കം എക്സിന്റെ ഫാദറിനെയും ഒറ്റ കൊടുക്കുകയാണ്. അപ്പൊ അവിടെ ഇയാളെ ത്രെട്ടൺ ചെയ്യാൻ വരുന്ന ഒരു community association and Black Legion. It is a society, Black Legion. So they used to wear black robes. Nearly everywhere my father when black legions were reviling him as an uppity nigger for wanting to own a store, for living outside the Lansing Negro district, for spreading unrest and dissension among the good niggers. So they said that wherever Malcolm X's father goes, those Black Legion people, they followed him and threatened him or criticized him that, oh, you are that black man who wanted to own a business of your own and you wanted to live outside the Lansing Negro district. So, in the place Lansing, a particular locality was allocated only for the black people. Malcolm's father, who doesn't want to live among those black Negroes, he said that we are free. We can settle at any places we wish. So that is why they are ridiculing him. Oh, you wanted to set up your home somewhere else out of that Negro district. And moreover, you are spreading unrest and dissension among the good Negroes. So you wanted to spread your message among the good Negroes who are uh, ready to serve the white people. So these are the accusations he had to face. And again, his mother was pregnant. At this time, the mother was pregnant with his younger sister, and she was born. And one day, that is in 1929, a nightmare occurred in his life. That was really not a nightmare, it was a real incident and it happened at night. He had the vivid memory of that incident. He remembered what happened there. So that night, their family they they woke up after listening the sounds of a commotion. They heard the shouts of guns. Immediately, Malcolm X's father he shouted and asked everyone to run out of the home. When they came out, they saw that their home was burning down, and they ran here and there. Somehow, they managed to escape from that burning house. And his mother, who has the baby in her arms, she just made it. It was a narrow escape. Her mother and her younger sister made a narrow escape. Their house burned down and they were thrown out to the uh, wintry street. They had only their dress which they had wore that night. Most of the children were in their underwear and they were crying and yelling. The white policemen and firemen came and stood around watching as the house burned down to the ground. So we know that if there was some problem occurs, especially burning of house, something that occurred, police and firemen will came and they will extinguish the fire. But here, the policemen and firemen came, but they didn't do anything to extinguish the fire which is engulfing their home because he's a black man. Moreover, he is spreading dissension and unrest among the so called good Negroes. Okay, I hope this much is clear to you. Read the portions or these paragraphs carefully. I haven't read all the lines. I have been trying to summarize each paragraph. Otherwise, it will take a lot of time to complete the portion, and you will feel bored. I hope you enjoyed today's lecture, and if you have any doubts, feel free to contact me. Thank you.